Have you seen Bad Boys?
No, not yet. But I heard about it.
Are you gonna go see it in theaters?
I don't think so. I
Ooh.
really don't want to see it.
Damn, dude, why you gotta talk about the Javante Davis fight too?
Oh.
Yeah, I heard Team
People-
Martin lost.
Do people really want to hear about Javante Davis?
The guy's really been on it.
Oh, you crazy?
I could have. Damn.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I want to see him fight somebody for real. Who is this guy? Who was this guy?
Frank Martin was undefeated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, so this was a big fight. So
And he was bigger
No,
than
it
Devontae
really
too.
was.
Yeah, so
Did
it was
you
a big
buy this fight?
No, I stream it online.
Oh,
No, I
okay.
pirated that
Look
shit.
at
I
this
heard he
man.
who got knocked out in the 8th round.
Frank got knocked out.
Frank.
All right, so tell us about the fight. What happened?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I heard
You didn't
about
watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh, you going? So yeah.
Are we on?
Yeah,
So Javante.
we're just
You
talking.
didn't do your
We're just
intro.
talking. No, yeah, I'm gonna do an intro. Damn, now I gotta edit this out. Just go.
Communicate.
Just go. Just go.
So did you see the Javante Davis fight?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen it?
I heard about it.
Javante Davis beat Frank Martin, knocked him out in the 8th round. Now Javante, it was said that he went live and said that he would have knocked him out by the 9th round, and he beat him in the 8th round. I thought, dude, he fought a good fight in the beginning. Then after a while, I saw what Javante was doing. He wasn't throwing as much punches. He said, I'm going to let him punch out a little bit. He kept going forward, kept his guard up. He'd pop him here and there, let dude throw his punches. And, in the later rounds, he got a little tired. That's when Devontae started opening up. The body shots started taking its toll on him. He caught him. He slipped in that uppercut in the 8th round. He already dazed him. Soon as, when his hands went down, and he come back with that left. Pow! Oh, my God. Y'all should have seen it. That dude,
I saw it.
The dude stretched out like a dead fish. He was stretched out.
All right, so Javante Davis, like a lot of people say he's like
Javante Tank Davis.
okay, yeah, Tank. A lot of people like talk about him like he's not a real fighter, right?
Really?
I mean, I was listening to this one fighter and he was
Okay,
like,
okay.
"Oh, well, I think of him as like a YouTube fighter."
Oh my
And
let
he
me
was
know
just
who
talking.
said
I
that.
forget who it was, but they were saying stuff like that. So, but obviously, I remember him versus Garcia
Yeah, yeah,
and that fight and some of that was going down.
yeah.
Which Garcia was at the fight and he actually
Yeah,
had
yeah.
that T-shirt. Did you
Because
see that?
they cool now. Yeah, he's like, rematch
Yeah.
me, bitch.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That
And
T-shirt was funny.
Even Tank laughed at that too.
Yeah.
So they real cool.
Yeah.
Which Javante Tank Davis is not a YouTube fighter. He's a
Okay.
real fighter. He's been fighting since I think he was like 6 or 7.
Okay.
So like he said, man, I just been doing this so long. It's like it's a part of my DNA.
Yeah.
It's pretty much all I know, like a Mayweather. It's all he knows. So I would like to see him fight either Devin Haney or Lomachenko. You know
Okay.
Lomachenko?
Mm-mm.
Lomachenko's a bad. I think
know Haney.
Lomachenko beat Devin Haney in that last fight, but they gave it to Devin Haney. That's my opinion. I'm
Okay.
sure a lot of people will agree, but I would love to see Tank fight either one of those guys.
Okay. So that's who you want him to fight next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see him versus Garcia. Like, let's see.
You want the
let's-
rematch?
I want top fighters to play against
But
top
he
fighters.
fought Garcia.
I know. Let's do the rematch.
I mean,
Garcia-
yeah.
Tank needs to come up to Garcia's level because Garcia last time went down to his in terms of weight.
No,
the
they
weight class.
in the same weight division.
No. But they fought. If you listen to Garcia talks about how he had to lose a lot of weight and he was super dehydrated when he went up against Tank.
Yeah, but because Garcia naturally fight at 140.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what they fight at, 140.
No, he fights at like 145-ish. Like
No,
his-
that's
Garcia's
welterweight.
last fight.
Garcia is
Bro,
not welterweight, my man. No.
I know, but listen, I'm talking about. I'm going off of what Garcia said. You can go look up the interview.
You know why? I'm gonna
talks
tell you
about
why
that.
he said that.
He says 145.
Because he naturally he walks around at a heavier weight, right? When you're not training, but when you fight, like you get like even Canelo. Canelo would walk around at 168, but he was fighting welterweight, 147, right? And then they don't have a weight clause. When you weigh in the day of the fight, which will be a Friday, right? You make weight, right? Say you got to weigh in 147 or just under. He'll make that weight, but they don't have a weight clause. On the day of the fight, he can swell back up to his normal weight. So Ryan was fight at 140. He fought at 140. That's what he fight at, you know. And he came down to weight, but then he went back to his natural weight because some people are not as powerful.
I know, but he was saying that this time, if Tank comes up to 145,
then he will fight him at 145.
He will fight him at 145 because that's where he wants to fight.
Can Tank make 145? Ryan feels comfortable at 145. I don't know if Tank can make 145.
I don't know if Tank will even go for it because he already beat him.
You realize and he's a small dude too. You know that Tank is a small dude.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah,
that man's my height. What is he, like 5'5"?
Yeah,
he 5'5"
or 5. I thought
he looks tiny. That man looks tiny.
They weighed in like at 130. He weighed in like 133 or 134.
Yeah.
And you tell this dude to come up to 145? Really?
I know, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
All right, welcome back to the Black Summit. I'm Brooks.
And I'm Hendricks.
And today we have Green Tea. She's back.
Yeah. All you guys
She's
love
back
her
again.
on the ground.
Yeah.
What her awesome
Proud to be
opinion.
back. Proud to be back.
Yeah.
Laid back green tea.
Yes.
Last time we had the fight. That was the real fight. Drake versus Kendrick.
Oh my God.
Because she was representing the West Coast.
And Green Tea won. She KO'd Brooks.
Yeah. So we thought low key that battle was going to go on forever at the time. I felt like, but it just like ended and nobody came back. So, you know.
Yeah.
But glad to have you back. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Good.
That's
chilling.
good.
You know, just catching vibes. So, it's like that time right before summer, but you know it's hot, and like so I've been trying to, you know, I've been getting out here and there. Been to the beach a couple times.
Oh, you have? You been to the beach
Yeah.
already?
Yep.
I haven't. Have you?
No, and the only thing I heard about the beach
to.
lately is that they having like alligators now.
Really?
At the beach?
At the beach?
Yes.
Which one?
I don't know, but they said they found like 2 alligators at the beach now.
Here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang.
So have fun with that.
That's what happens when you live in the
I would
South.
imagine it would be Folly. I can see
It
that.
probably is folly.
Yeah.
Folly is a little bit more of a rougher like beach than IOP, man. I mean, let's just be honest. The houses are more raggier.
So you like IOP better?
I mean, I like both, but IOP, when it comes to it, IOP is more commercial friendly, let's just say.
Okay.
You know, they got the restaurants, and most of the residents are further down, where as soon as you get to Folly, all the residents right there.
That is
And
true.
it's hard to find parking space.
Yeah, I hate the
Yeah.
parking.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just more residential. Not
You
saying
just got to
IOP
know where to
isn't
park.
residential.
See, I know
That part.
the spots.
You know the spots?
That
I know the
part.
spots at Folly.
Oh, yeah?
I ain't gonna tell you, but you know. I'm just kidding.
Well, you parking in somebody's yard, must be.
Oh no.
Dude, really? You do know spots?
I do know spots. Yeah.
I need to. I bet, man. Shoot, let's. We should all hit up Folly one day.
We should. You know,
Play
you
some
said that
volleyball or
IOP,
something.
like IOP has the restaurant. Folly has the restaurants too.
They
man.
do. They do.
I mean, like they just
do.
put in like the new Taco Boy.
Yeah.
You know,
But you know
and,
what?
like-
But Folly don't have the restaurants on the actual strip like IOP has. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You got the side
know what
roads,
you
then
mean.
you have the restaurants, right? But I
Yeah.
mean, Folly is cool too.
It's got a little strip for Folly.
It does.
Yeah,
You're
why you
right.
coming
This
in?
man hasn't been there in a
little
long
strip.
time.
A little strip. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
When
why
you
you
coming
coming
in,
in? You see all the
not
restaurants on
on
the
the
side.
actual.
Yeah, not on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's more residential.
Yeah.
That's why.
I like IOP though too.
Yeah.
So that's where we usually go. So,
IOP?
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So-
Me too. We had cookout at the, IOP. You get there at a certain time. They got a park and they got grills, and we used to cook out there.
Oh yeah.
Get there early, lock down a spot, have everybody come through, and we, cook out food and stuff like that. So,
There you
like,
go.
He's
back
smiling
in the day.
hard, boy. He has some good times out there. Look at him.
It's memorable. My homeboy Leroy keeps saying, "Yo, man, we gotta do another IOP cookout, man." We keep talking about it, but we never got time to actually do it.
Damn, he never sent us the invite. What happened?
Well, this was years ago.
What
y'all,
happened?
Y'all probably was in Pampers when we did this. Y'all young. Y'all
Low
was in
key.
Pampers. Yeah,
You
y'all
know?
was in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? This is
Yeah.
almost 24 years ago.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
I got you.
yeah, man.
All right, well, we're gonna hop into the topics. The Boston Celtics were victorious. They are now the national champions of the NBA. Almost said WNBA.
Oh, man. See where your mind at.
And they actually have surpassed the Los Angeles Lakers
By one? Or
by one.
By one? Okay.
and they have the most championships in the NBA. And so, yeah, what did you think of the series?
Man, I think Boston almost had it easy the whole, and not saying that the other teams weren't playing, but they swept Indiana. They did a gentleman's sweep with Dallas. I thought Dallas would have at least been able to hang, but I think the reason why Dallas just couldn't defensively, they couldn't do nothing with they didn't protect the perimeter enough. It's sad it took them to game 3 to really do something for Luka to start playing defense. But it's still in the end it wasn't enough. And for some odd reason, when they get in Boston, they couldn't convert. They couldn't really score like that, Right. And then also, that's not to take away from Boston's defense. Boston was just hitting on all cylinders. Offensively, defensively, they must be about 3 or 4 dudes from White to Brown to Tatum to who's Porzingis, and there's another guy who came in there. Is his name Holmes? I can't remember his name. I think I know who you're talking about. They were snapping threes like it was nothing, And whereas Dallas they just couldn't put it together. Kyrie played terrible in the Garden every game. And hats off to Boston, man. Well deserved. They did their thing, man. What you think, Green Tea?
Hey, I'm standing for the people who is not really paying attention, but that's nice to hear for them, and congratulations to them. And they have more championships than
the Lakers, than anybody, really. Than anybody in the NBA.
How much they have total?
They have 18 total.
Okay, so Lakers got 17.
Lakers got 17.
Do you think the Lakers will get one next year? Is LeBron still going to be there?
I think that the Lakers, it's going to be a while before we win again. And we got to wait for LeBron to leave. I mean,
you think so?
That's the only way that the Lakers are going to get back to prominence. We got to get rid of LeBron.
Dang, I can't believe you said that.
I'm just being honest, man.
You agree?
I can't stand LeBron.
We ain't going to win another championship.
Why? What's wrong with LeBron? What's wrong with LeBron?
Well, I mean, I think LeBron, he brings a certain process that you have to have in order to win with him. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so that's why I don't think we're going to be able to win, with him there.
But you won before. How much
you have to have the right coach for him. You see that they're firing this coach that was actually pretty good. I mean, he wasn't a bad coach. Frank Vogel, who helped us win the championship a couple of years ago, they fired him. He was a great coach. You have to have the right players, the right pieces, and everything has to be like perfect for you to win with LeBron. That's just my opinion, especially with him being this old.
Y'all only won in the bubble?
Yeah, we only won in the bubble.
With LeBron, that's the only time y'all won?
That's the only time we won. Only championship.
Does that really count?
The bubble championship? Listen, I'm counting it because I don't want Boston to have two over us.
A bubble
During COVID, they was in the bubble on the Disney.
Yeah.
Disney set up, there was no audience. They put in audience sounds. They had with some paper cutouts or something.
Paper cutouts.
Yeah, paper cut to simulate the crowd.
I think I did saw that, but I didn't know they call it the bubble.
Yeah, they call it the bubble.
Okay,
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say the bubble championship counts right now. But if we were debating Jordan versus versus LeBron, I would be like, it doesn't count.
Dude, and y'all almost lost to Miami.
Yeah, we did.
Y'all almost lost to Miami.
I mean, listen. I like LeBron off the court. I think I like his some of the things he does for the community, and I think that he's shown that he's like a good father. I mean, being able to see his sons come up and do what they're doing now. His one of his sons is about to be in the league.
Yeah, I hear a lot about him.
So yeah, I mean, that should be applauded. But LeBron on the court, man.
You never cared for him on the court?
I'm not a fan.
Even when y'all won that championship in the bubble, you didn't care
yeah,
for
I was
him?
happy.
Oh, see.
But,
You was like, LeBron. I mean, when y'all first got LeBron.
What have we done after that? That's all I want to talk about.
I'm starting to realize being around you, a lot of things from the West Coast you really can't stand.
No, I love the Lakers.
Know, right?
Yeah.
I love the Lakers. I can
the
be
rappers, the basketball players.
Listen, I can be critical.
You know what he loves the most?
What?
Not the West, even though he's from there. Not the South, because he loves it. He
loves
the North. He loves the North.
What do you mean?
I'm surprised you're not wearing Timberlands. You love the North so much.
You would never catch me with no Timberlands.
If he come in with Timberlands, I know something's up there.
He loves the North so much.
No, I love the West Coast. I love the Lakers. I bleed purple and gold. But the thing about me is that I'm gonna be critical in my teams. I can be critical. I can get on here and talk about the Dallas Cowboys all day, how we suck and how we need to get rid of
it's
Dak.
a fact.
Listen,
Y'all
I'm
suck.
just being honest.
Suck
I'm just being
ass.
critical of the teams. You know, I got to be critical.
But you know, Snoop Dogg was so ecstatic when he found out LeBron was coming to the Lakers.
I
was like, and I get it. I was like, yo, you know, I was like, you know, bet I understand why you figured like we sucked after Kobe for so long, and then they even kind of sucked with Kobe. Not saying it was Kobe's fault.
Really?
Yeah, because the teams was not producing.
Yeah, what
'Cause
they tried to do was they tried to create a couple of super teams, and that didn't work out. Remember Dwight Howard and Steve Nash, and
Right.
we were supposed to get Chris Paul, but the league rejected that.
Oh yeah.
We would have got
well
it.
because
So
I think
people-
the cap y'all probably couldn't afford us too much in the cap.
No, they just straight up rejected it. They were like, "We can't let you guys, do this."
Dominate.
Yeah,
And they still kind of sucked.
yeah.
But I mean, a super team don't mean you have all the best players all together. I mean, what is an example of a super team to y'all, basketball wise?
What Golden State did when they got Kevin Durant.
Yeah, Kevin Durant.
That was a super team.
That
You
was an
couldn't beat
ultra
them. Yeah, you
super
could-
team.
And I mean, I get it, but it's not really good because
Nobody
it's a
can
super
beat you.
team. Yeah, you're going back to the championship. You're going back again to the championship. After a while, it's not even across the board. Nobody wants to see that.
I got you.
You know, when they triple stack these teams, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then San Antonio did it but it wasn't done intentionally. When they got the Twin Towers, the first Twin Towers,
Right.
David Robinson and
Duncan.
Tim Duncan. It wasn't done intentionally, but David Robinson was on his way out, you know, and then of course Tim Duncan was able to take over. But yeah, when you stack so much like that,
Yeah.
you know, and sometimes it work and sometimes it don't.
Yes.
You know, because it didn't work in Brooklyn Nets. They had Kyrie. Of course, the pandemic hit and they had Kyrie. Who else they had? Kevin Durant, and they had Harden.
Yeah.
Then Kyrie didn't
It
hardly
didn't
play
work
because
out
of the
because
pandemic.
most of them was hurt,
Yeah,
and then the pandemic and a bunch.
Oh
of
yeah,
other
yeah,
stuff.
that's right. Because Kevin Durant was hurt that whole year and couldn't
Yeah.
really play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it didn't. It's on paper, it looks good. But when you get to the actual hardwood,
Yeah.
you're like, what the hell is this? You know.
Because maybe the super team ain't really like just have all good players, you know? Because sometimes you might need the players that people don't really pay attention to.
Yeah, the
and
role-
you need
the role
you need the
players.
little
I think
Indians
so.
that really know how to play their roles.
Yeah.
And have that, of course, one or two stars who really can help balance
And the
it.
key
Yeah.
is for the players to actually step up. Like with Dallas, like I was like, you know, they kept giving the ball to Luka, kept getting it to Luka. Luka ain't going to hit every shot.
No.
He's going to get tired out.
And you overplayed them.
But around when it's about like 2 minutes left in the game, but 2:30 minutes,
Yeah.
you read his lips. He said, "Man, I'm out." He literally can't. He left the game. He said, "Yeah." The ref was calling on. He wasn't getting the fouls. They was calling stuff on him. He was like, "I'm out." And as you know, you see Kyrie come out. 2 minutes left. Kyrie went over to the other team and congratulated them. All right, y'all. You know, we down by 20-something points.
Yeah, it's
There's
over.
no way. It's done. It's done.
Yeah, congrats to Boston.
Yeah,
even though
congrats
that
up to Boston.
pains me. It pains me to
Yes.
see that. You know, even Magic Johnson was like, it hurts to see that they got one championship over us because, you know.
Oh yeah.
Um,
that's the reason why
so-
he was
He
going
posted
for
that on
Dallas.
Twitter, yeah.
Because you don't want
Or
them boy
X.
to
Oh,
be
yeah.
money. Oh, okay.
I was but Lake
Now
Show
I
all
get
day. But shout out to Q.
Yeah,
shout
Q.
out to the Boston
Let
Celtics.
us know in the comments that he really spitting on you guys. He don't want you to get a championship over Lakers. So let us know what you think.
I like
Q.
Boston's players. I like Tatum. I like
Brown.
Brown. You know, it's funny. They were talking about Tatum. They were saying that he was like trying to recreate every single like championship moment because he was copying off of like Kevin Garnett's "Anything is possible."
Oh, yeah?
like he had his own thing. I don't know if you
He
saw
was
those
all
clips.
dramatic.
Yeah, but it was funny seeing him do that.
Yeah.
But congrats.
But
to
yeah,
them.
congrats to them, man. I was rooting for Dallas because I like Kyrie.
Yeah.
Hell, I was rooting for Boston when Kyrie was playing for Boston. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But as you know, hats off to Boston, man. They did their thing. Beantown.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, man. So what we
All
got?
right, moving on to the WNBA.
Oh.
Okay.
The real deal, nah.
Oh my God.
Hey, I mean, I follow this more than I do. That's why I was almost about to say
I'm telling
NBA,
you, it's more exciting.
WNBA.
Must see TV, as they say.
Yeah, so a lot of people have been talking. This is kind of like old news at this point, but a lot of people were talking about the Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. So Angel Reese, basically, Caitlin Clark was going up to make a layup. And we've all seen the video now, right? And Angel Reese just went up to make a play on the ball, and she got a handful of face, basically, instead of a handful of ball. Pause. But, you know, everybody's been going on and on about this because of the past of, like, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. You know, they've been going up against each other since college. You know, Angel Reese won the championship, did this whole thing in Caitlin Clark's face, and stuff like that. So everybody's been talking about the feud. And I actually have a couple of clips. I want to play some of their reactions after the foul. And we'll talk about...
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay, so this one is what Angel Reese had to say after.
Okay.
Can you kind of, on the flagrant, did you feel like that?
The basketball play.
Yeah. Did you feel like that was the appropriate call or...
It's the basketball play. I can't control the refs. They affected the game obviously a lot tonight. So.
It did look like you were going for the ball.
I mean, I'm always going for the ball. Like y'all gonna play that clip 20 times before Monday?
Can you kind of, on the flagrant?
It didn't say the whole thing, but she was like, sometimes people get a special whistle.
So did Caitlin have a response?
This was what Caitlin said to the flagrant foul.
When you get flagrant foul by Angel Reese, what's going through your mind, and how you just stay within yourself to finish the game?
What's going through my mind is I need to make these 2 free throws. That's all I'm thinking about. It's just a part of basketball. It is what it is. You know, she's trying to make a play on the ball and get the block. But yeah, I mean, it happens. And those free throws, when you have to shoot them with nobody at the line, are kind of hard. So it's a little different than having people at the line. So I was just trying to focus on making those.
When you get...
All right. So that is the reaction to everything. What do you guys think of?
Well,
because we've all seen it, right?
You've seen the video.
Okay.
Yes.
What's your? You think it was intentional, or what do you think?
Honestly, I agree with the ladies because y'all say they've been playing for the longest against each other, and they already know the rules. They just focus. I think some people are reaching with this because I can see she came and intentionally had her hand in a way just to hit her, but no, I don't think it was intentional. I think they were just playing the game. And that's it.
Yeah.
And
She was going for the ball.
Yeah, just going for it. That's it. I really don't think she came out of nowhere because I think she had plenty of times to do that if she really was trying to be, cruel to her. So, no. I think people are reaching. They need to chill out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. It was a basketball play. It wasn't intentional. I saw that game, and I think the refs and media, they need to stop putting a target on Caitlin. Yeah, okay, she hit her as a foul. It wasn't a flagrant. It wasn't flagrant. It wasn't intentional. And then they said it was a flagrant one, right? Only in the WNBA I've witnessed where a foul will happen, and they called a foul. Then even after the game was already done, then they went back and changed. You saw that? They went back. You never see that in the NBA. Right? That's when that girl bumped
sometimes
her.
you do.
It does?
You do, yeah.
Okay, okay, maybe yeah.
If they miss a call, they'll come out and say that they missed a call.
Okay, well, it's rare.
Yeah,
rare. Maybe I haven't really witnessed it, so I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I don't think it was intentional. It was a basketball play. I've seen way worse in the NBA. I mean, dude, White in the game, White face got smashed, and his tooth was chipped. He's bleeding from the mouth. And then and even the commentators are, man, I bet if that was Caitlin Clark, we'd hear about this all week, which is true. I think the refs, man, like Angel Reese said, sometimes the ref determine things. They need to stop coddling Caitlin. Even Caitlin said it was a basketball play. All you doing is putting more of a target on her back.
Yeah.
Call it a foul for what it is. And Caitlin is right. Yeah, all I was worrying about is going to the line, making these 2 free throws.
Yeah.
Because these 2 points. She ain't going to argue with the ref. She can't go to the ref and say, hey, ref, that ain't a flagrant, that ain't a flagrant. Why would she do that? You know what I mean? Hey, I get to go to the line. They need to stop doing these BS calls and stop putting a target on her back, and you making more of the players gunning for her outside of just playing ball. Let them girls just play ball and keep it what it is. Keep it on the court. Stop, giving her. It's not saying that they're giving her a pass. It's not saying she want a pass. She just want to play ball.
Yeah.
Let them women play ball. They ball players. This is what they train for.
Right.
Stop giving BS calls for anything. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think, man.
I have a long response to this because I think it's complex, right?
You take us
It's
to
very
church.
complex. So
You going to
on the
church,
one
man.
hand, listen, I'm a Caitlin Clark fan.
Amen.
And so I think that that needs to be said because I'm about to be on Angel Reese's side on this, okay? One, I don't really like her statement. But what I do like is that, listen, the difference between this foul and the Chinity foul, okay? Chinity, basically, that was not a basketball play. She went up from the back and knocked her down, okay? Not a basketball play. I'm going to come at her all day. This was a basketball play. Angel Reese is going up to block the ball, and she happened to hit Caitlin Clark in the face. To me, that's basketball. And if anybody has a problem with that, it's just like, please sit down because you don't really know basketball like that. I always like the harder fouls and the harder, rough, tough basketball. It's a little bit different because it's women, right? But we cannot change this up just because it's women. Listen, if Draymond Green had done that to somebody, I'd be like, yo, I'd be clapping him on.
He's done way worse.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
definitely.
That is a hard foul, yes, but it was a basketball play. And that's the difference between Chinity and Angel Reese. And I'm going to defend Angel Reese on that. Now, her comments afterwards, she was like, I guess special people get special. Listen, the foul was a flagrant. Let's call it what that was, a flagrant. I'm sorry. That was
You
a
think
hard
that foul
foul.
was it was a hard foul?
Yes, I
It's
think it was a
flagrant
flagrant.
one. Flagrant isn't that's like intentional.
Yeah, but it's not like it was a flagrant 2 where you get ejected. It was a flagrant 1.
Only way I
It's a
can
hard
consider
foul.
it to be, it was a hard foul, but it was an intentional hard foul. Only way I can justify that being a flagrant 1 if she couldn't get up. Say she went down and she hit her head or something. Okay, all right. I give you a flagrant.
It was
one.
a hard foul, though.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm not saying it wasn't.
All right.
But it was a basketball play, right?
Yes.
You go to swipe the ball. Of course, Caitlin Clark being a basketball player, she moves it out the way to try to not get her shot deflected. That's what a basketball player does. By her maneuvering in the air, she goes to swing and then accidentally caught her in the head. And then she falls. Trust me, I've seen way worse in the NBA, and they don't even get called a flagrant one.
I think there was a little follow through there, but listen, it's a hard foul.
You just biased.
And
for
no, I just said it.
Quit
Listen,
caping.
It was a follow through.
I'm
He
on
caped for Caitlin.
So what was
I'm
the
on
follow
Angel
through?
Reese's side.
What was the follow through?
I think she was going up for the block, and she really did like come and hit her in the face, and I mean knocked her down.
And you know why the follow through
So,
was? You know
I think she just didn't get enough air. Cause you jump in, you see it at the last minute, and you gotta remember what happened too. That she ain't like she was already prepped to make that jump ready for her. So she was just like, oh snap, came up. If you don't even have enough air, of course I'm gonna hit you midway. Homegirl got enough air before her.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a
So-
good point. Yeah.
Also, too, I'm gonna take it to science. If y'all know the laws of physics, object in motion stays in motion until eventually it stops. Once you, with the inertia, you propel forward. When you're moving forward and you're going in that direction, something is either Caitlin's body going to stop her, or eventually, if she's out the way, or eventually gravity will take in and she will land, you will come down because we can't fly, right?
Yeah.
Bodies in motion stays in motion. That's why that's a basketball move. It wasn't intentional. When she moved, if I'm going for the ball and I'm not going at green tea, if I go for the ball, but she just happened to move and I'm swiping at the ball, but yet where she moved, I hit her in the head. That's part of inertia.
Last thing I want to say on this, because you guys never want to give Caitlin Clark her flowers.
Oh my God. I said she's a great player. She's a great player.
The reports on the attendance have come out, okay? A regular WNBA game only gets 7,000 viewers, okay? Caitlin Clark is getting 15,000.
Right.
Nearly double
Of course.
any other regular WNBA game.
Yeah.
People are here because of her. And like, I know a lot of people don't want to admit that, but it's true. People are here to see her. People are here to watch her. Now, some of these other players, they're going to get some come up because, you know, they're
Because of
around
her.
it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see with some of the other players like Angel Reese and some of these other players. I think that the reason why Caitlin Clark has this spectacle around her is because of what she can do. I don't think it has anything, because a lot of people are bringing in race. A lot of people are bringing in all these other factors and trying to make it about that. It's not about that, man. It's about this player is extraordinary, and we need to congratulate these people while they're here to see it, not tear them down. And I feel like a lot of people are trying to tear her down because she is like a white player coming into a black sport, you know? And so anyways.
I have to respectfully disagree, because I think it's a culmination of all that. I think she's white, and she's not only that. I think it's a combination of all that, because you have the best player in the WNBA by far, bar none, which is A'ja Wilson, who is a black woman. She never got the critically acclaim. You're right. She never got the critically acclaim the way Caitlin Clark is getting it. And granted, she is bringing in numbers. I totally get what you're saying, because when she come in, everybody's tuning in because of the college, the rivalry. That is a fact. That is hands down a fact. I agree with that. But also, I still feel what these other females are saying. But at the same time, like I said before, I don't think it's Caitlin's fault that they put a spotlight on her. It's not that she asked. She's a ball player. She said, look, I just come to play ball. It's not my fault that they highlight me to be the golden child of the WNBA. And so, therefore, I don't think that Angel Reese's comment was really a best. She said, look, the way y'all making it sound, and if you pay close attention, it's not like she even saying it's Caitlin's fault. Some people getting special whistles, and what she says, the ref sometimes determines the game. It's the ref the one that's doing these calls. It ain't Caitlin. If they said it was a regular foul, Caitlin, and go to the line, she'd been cool with that. Or she said, look, I'm just focused on making these 2 shots. Yeah. She even said it is a basketball play. I like Caitlin Clark. She's doing good for the league. She's bringing in eyes. She's bringing in numbers. But I also feel these other people, what they're saying too. You can't overlook that.
Yeah, I mean, to me that's like me going, well, you know, I've been doing blah 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 over here for years, and nobody's been noticing me. And you know, even though like I'm good at what I'm doing over here, nobody's noticing me. To me, that's a little bit like,
what?
I don't know. I just feel like
you whining.
Yes, like you're complaining about something.
If you was doing good.
It does, to me, it's not about race. It's about, okay, what kind of spectacle are you bringing for people to watch you? Okay, is she doing some kind of trick shot? Is she pulling up from the half court and drilling shots?
Who?
I'm talking
Caitlin?
about, what's the girl's name?
Oh, A'ja
the one
Wilson?
that you just mentioned.
A'ja Wilson.
I've
seen
What
her
is
shoot
she
30
doing that
footers.
spectacle? I haven't
Winning
seen her.
championships.
Okay.
Dominating. Assists.
All right.
Blocks.
But
shooting.
Okay, so what is she doing
Everything.
though? Is she pulling up from the half court and shooting
I've
threes
seen
and
some.
making them consistently all the time?
That's not her game, but I've seen her
Okay.
do it. But like you said, I think Caitlin Clark is tremendous for the WNBA.
Yeah.
She's bringing in numbers. She's bringing it because she is doing something different, shooting 30 footers. Caitlin Clark is a great player.
Let me put it like this: when the NBA was doing what it was doing in the 80s, this is pre Magic, pre Bird. The NBA was doing their thing, right?
You said
before
Magic
before
and
they
Bird?
took off. Yeah,
They
were
in the
doing their
70s.
thing.
What are you talking
There was
about?
probably no. I'm talking
the
about.
80s.
I'm the reason why I'm talking about the 80s is because that's when they came in. All right, so Magic and Bird came in the 80s.
They came in the 80s, not the 70s?
Yes, Magic and Bird. Hold on, follow me. Okay, Magic and Bird came in at like 80. I forget what it is. Like
sure?
80. Yeah, early 80s. All right, you can look it up.
No,
They
go
came
ahead,
in the
I'm
early 80s. At the beginning, it was the NBA and they were doing whatever they were doing, but they weren't getting much views. People weren't really watching them. Okay?
Yes, they were.
But you bring no.
Yes, they was.
I'm talking about before the NBA became.
Oh, you said
NBA.
before they came in.
Yes.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Before they came in, the NBA wasn't doing the numbers that they're doing today. When back in the day, before Magic and Bird, they weren't doing the numbers that they're doing today. But when Magic came in and Magic was throwing the ball behind his back and doing all kinds of
79.
spectacle, he was doing all kinds of crazy passes and doing all kinds of crazy
because they didn't
things.
see nothing like that before.
And Bird was coming in and he was just smooth as hell.
Bird was in the league before Magic.
Okay, I'm just.
I think Bird came in 78. Magic came in.
Okay,
79.
all right. But, you know, it didn't really
wouldn't
take
even
off till the
born.
80s.
But no, I get what you're saying.
But anyways, it took a little bit of spectacle. And even then, it wasn't even as big, right, in terms of revenue, even with Magic and Bird. And then it took somebody who was unbelievably great to come in, Michael Jordan, to change everything, to make the NBA what it is today. And you know it's true, but y'all don't want to talk about it because y'all don't want to say that, possibly Caitlin Clark could be the Jordan. No. But it's all good.
No. I get you. You're giving me half truths. You're giving me half because half of what you're saying is true.
Okay.
What Bird was in the league before Magic, right? Bird, I believe Bird contract was $600,000.
Okay.
Magic beat Bird, I think, in college, and he came in the league, and then he wanted that same deal or more, but they didn't give him that, right? I think he maybe got $500,000 or something like that, right, when he came into the league. Now, the truth is, when they came in the league, it was because of college, the same way Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and Camilla, they already grew a big following because of college, right? Because Magic from Lansing, Bird is from Indiana. And a lot of people don't know, Bird played with a lot of brothers, too. That's why Bird is so nice like that.
He's so smooth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like a Luka. But anyway, so they came in the league. Now, you're right. They did something different.
Yes.
And that brought way more eyes on it, right? That brought way more eyes on it. Now, Magic and Bird was in the league, and they was hooping. Jordan still came in the league as a rookie, but he still wasn't looked at because they wasn't winning. Detroit, the bad boys, they was dominating the league. They was dominating the league. Now, you are right in the sense of it goes through eras. Bird, Magic, how you say behind the back, the fancy assists, and to be a 6'9", I saw Magic in person in Atlanta.
What?
That dude is huge compared to him. He's wide and he real tall. When Puff used to have, no diddy, he used to have a restaurant in Atlanta called Justin's. I saw Magic and AI. They were both in the restaurant. AI was sitting right behind me. Me and him say what's up to each other. We almost bumped into each other. We walked in. Magic was standing at the door. Literally, I put this on everything I love. If you don't believe me, I could bring my homeboys on here and they can testify to this. A big dude like that, 6'9", or however tall he is, 6'10", whatever. Big dude throwing behind the back, no look passes, on the break, fat. That's why they got the nickname Magic, stuff he could do with the ball. He changed the league, right?
Yes.
The league go through phases. You're right about that. Jordan was still there, but Jordan was still in his rookie. Oakley and all them dudes the Bulls they sucked.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Jordan surpassed them quickly as like the one. Yeah. But they always were saying, oh, he never won the championship though, right?
Who?
They were Jordan. They were talking about Jordan. At the time, he didn't win the championship.
Win the championship.
I'm talking about in the 80s. Jordan in the 80s. No. He didn't win any championships.
Not till the 90s.
But he was bringing the spectacle. You're talking about Angel Wilson. Oh, she won the championship. She's doing all this other stuff. But at the time, when it was Bird and Magic, they were winning all the championships.
It was
right?
about them.
Just like Angel Wilson. Or what's her name?
Asia Wilson.
And so I'm just saying it took somebody like Jordan to come in. And yes, Caitlin Clark hasn't won any championships yet. But it took somebody like Jordan to come in and to change the game, okay? And to make the league profitable.
And you might be right.
The WNBA is not profitable. They're going to lose $50 million this year.
How you figure? They getting an expansion team in Canada.
Hold on.
What you talking about?
What are you, bro?
The WNBA, they're getting an
Okay, wait a minute.
team.
You need to go look this up, man. This is real. They're gonna lose $50 million this year. This is a report that came
But
out.
how are they losing money when you got Caitlin Clark and they're bringing
Because
eyes
they're
and
not
all the
making
games
enough revenue. They're not making enough revenue. This is what we're trying to tell people. They're not making enough revenue.
You got to show me that,
Bro.
You got to show me that. You got to show me this, dude.
Hold on,
Didn't
let
you
me
just say
timestamp.
that she bringing in all the games?
She
sold
is.
out, Jersey is sold out,
But
yet they're
it's probably
losing
not
50
enough.
million?
He's trying
Not
to say
enough.
it's not enough.
It's not enough, but she can take it there. When she becomes great,
She can't take it,
which
there
we know
alone.
she's going to get there.
That part.
She can't.
I
take
was
it
just
there
thinking
alone.
that. Because see how y'all were mentioning Magic
Yeah,
and everybody else. They were already, you got to remember, that's even when the shoes got involved.
right.
It's-
Exactly.
When the
exactly.
culture start getting behind you a little bit more, that's when you're going to have more eyes. Some people will just get the shoes and they probably don't even know nothing about the sport.
The first female that ever got a Nike shoe was Cheryl Swoops, which is a black
Read
woman.
that.
Yes.
Let me see. Despite the presence and popularity of Caitlin Clark, WNBA is projected to face a $50 million loss for 2024 season, according to the sources within the league, including executive from one of the team. Despite extensive coverage and a surge in popularity, the financial situation remains challenging.
All right, so,
Projected. That don't mean they necessarily
bro,
gonna
they're
lose
going to
it.
lose $50 million.
What's up with these
Let me see
alternative
that.
facts you be trying to
No,
tell me, man?
this is real.
Hold on.
Bro, this is real stuff. This man can't believe it. I'm bringing facts. to
Okay,
this.
okay.
I'm bringing facts to this.
Let me see. Okay.
People,
The
you
W
can
is
go
going
listen
from
to. I'm
strength to
sure
strength
there's a
on the court.
thing of Stephen A.
Court.
talking about it. If that's who you need to hear it from.
Oh my God.
If you need to hear it from Stephen A., if you needed to hear it from Shannon Sharp, if you need to hear it from all these other people to believe it, I'm just telling you facts right now.
So they're saying
They're still
what they're saying. Why? Let me read this.
Okay, go ahead.
They're saying this is why the WNBA
They're
is losing
subsidized by the NBA.
money. Exact. So the NBA is kind of not. I guess they're being greedy.
No, they're not. Stop it.
So if they subsidize
Stop
the
the
NBA,
cap.
but
The
this is
M-
what it says.
the
Listen,
NBA
let me read it. Let me read it.
What?
The WNBA is going from strength to strength on the court, but the reported loss for 2024 highlights that the league still relies heavily on the NBA. It also shows that even the most high-profile women's sport leagues still need to invest ahead of revenue before they can be expected to turn a profit. So in other words, know what that means?
What does it mean?
That means that they need to get on more networks. Right now, most of the game is you got to buy the league pass, which is some people say, why subscribe to the league pass when I can watch NBA on TNT, ESPN, and ABC was they got to get the WNBA on more networks. And when you get on more networks, that's how you can get more money. But if the NBA, and I guess I shouldn't say that the NBA is being greedy.
They're not being greedy.
But if they're not putting them in positions to be on more networks, how more people can see how you can get more sponsorships.
Okay, listen. How can you be greedy when you are subsidizing another league? You're literally putting up the money so
greedy
that
is such a harsh word.
No, yeah, they're not being greedy. They're
But
helping.
They are helping.
They are helping
but-
them out.
So now if the
That's not being
NBA
greedy.
is done, then maybe now you need to set up for the WNBA to be seen on more networks other than just Amazon Prime. That's what most of other than
Okay.
league passes, because the only game that's being televised is the Breeze, Indiana Breeze, which is Caitlin Clark's.
Indiana Fever.
It's Fever?
Yeah.
It's not the
Yeah,
Breeze?
it's Fever.
Yes, the Fever.
The Breeze. Okay, my bad. I stand corrected. The Fever. So I think
They're
need
not
to
the
do
only ones
something-
being televised, by the way. But go ahead.
Well, don't they televise games whenever Caitlin Clark is playing them?
Yeah, they're televising a lot of those games because they know
But
the
are
eyeballs are
they
going to be there.
televising other games other than the
Yes,
Fever?
they are.
A
Yeah.
few. I saw some on Prime.
Angel Reese and
Oh, you know what? They did
what's the
do
other
they
girl?
did Seattle,
Los
and,
Angeles Sparks, baby.
The Sparks. They did Seattle and Phoenix. I did,
Yeah.
but that game came on right after Caitlin Clark, which
Yeah.
is smart. You want to piggyback off of that game, you know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
But I think the NBA needs to put these women in more position to get more revenue. You
Yeah.
know, because right now, think about it. If you have a business, he has a business, right? He subsidized you, right? And he getting most of the advertising dollars. Mind you only been around maybe about 12, 15 years, right? Now tell the truth. And he noticed He subsidized. He gonna
Bruh,
look
this
out.
is the wrong
but he
argument.
is going. No, he
Bro.
subsidized you. But of course, he's going to get most of the revenue stream. He's going to get most of his
Bro,
business
this
advertised.
is the wrong
then he's going to
argument.
get you.
What are you talking about?
Dude, that's what's going on. What are you? Oh, my God,
goodness, man.
Do you know
First of
business?
all,
Do I got a degree in business?
Not everybody wants to watch the WNBA.
No, they do.
That is the problem. The
Hold on.
problem is not everybody wants to watch
Will
the
you
WNBA.
watch the WNBA?
Yeah, I watched a couple games.
Thank
I
you.
don't
And she's a
follow it.
woman. Let this woman talk. Let this woman talk.
We got to move on.
No, let this woman get her piece in real quick.
Go ahead.
before
Go
you
ahead.
move on. Go ahead.
What do you think about that?
I think it can be advertised a little bit more.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
Because only time I catch is when I'm invited to come see it. I'm not just chilling and looking at movies, and when I see all these different commercials, I barely don't even see anything on the WNBA
Thank
at
you.
all.
That's what
and
I'm
it's
saying.
not because it's not interesting. I'm not actually going to search for it. You know, I'm not saying I had never heard of these women. I'm not actually sitting there seeing it like everywhere. Like the NBA, like how it was when it was really heavy.
Yes.
But WNBA, I do agree. It can be advertised
And
a
tell
little
me,
bit more.
all you watch movies because you're a filmmaker as well, and I'm sure you watch Prime, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you go on Prime to watch the WNBA? No. Yes or no? Thank you. That's all I'm saying. What's the next subject?
Just like the NBA ratio, you already had it where they play rougher. And you talk about the Denvers and all. Yeah. What? Like when it came to street ball versus the rules. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Our next subject, our last subject
Yeah.
is the election is coming up.
Dun, 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 dun.
And actually, you know, what's happening is the debate is about to be coming up next week. So
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tune in for
people
that.
need to start tuning in to politics. Listen, this is one of the most important elections, right?
Yeah.
We need to start tuning in and figuring out who we're going to vote for. Please vote, people. We need more people to vote. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But basically, the black vote has always been a subject of conversation when it comes to these elections. And recently, the black vote has been making a shift. And it sounds like Biden isn't going to get the overarching Democratic black vote that every Democratic, candidate has always gotten. According to these polls. This is from CNN, so people don't think that we are being biased or anything like that. And here we go.
Deeper into the crosstabs, figure out where is it that Joe Biden is truly struggling among black voters. All right, so this is black voters, Biden versus Trump margin. Look at black voters age 50 and older, and you'll see, look, Joe Biden was leading amongst this group at this point by 83 points back in 2020. Now it's 74 points. So yeah, a slight decline in that margin, but nothing out
That's
of this
over
world.
50.
Look at black voters under the age of 50. Holy cow, folks. Holy cow. Look at this. Joe Biden was up by 80 points among this group back at this point in 2020. Look at where that margin has careened down towards. It's now just, get this, 37 points. That lead has dropped by more than half, Mr. Berman. I just never seen anything like this. I'm like speechless because you always look at history and you go, okay, this is a historic moment. If this polling is anywhere near correct, we are looking at a historic moment right now where black voters under the age of 50, which have historically been such a big part of the Democratic coalition, are leaving it in droves. That is a huge drop over a 4-year period.
So they're saying that it's going to be lower than 6 decades. It's going to be the lowest in 6 decades.
I've heard that.
People voting for the Democratic Party and the Democratic candidate, which is Joe Biden right now. What are y'all thoughts on this?
Green tea.
No, I'll let you go first.
Want me to go first?
Yeah.
I heard that. I think, in my opinion, at one time, Republicans was like, you know what, we ain't even going to worry about black people because most of them ain't going to vote for us anyway. One thing, a repellent to Republican is black women. They said, look, we'll get black men before we get black women. No way in hell black women will ever vote Republican. Majority of them. If you do get a few, they're like business owners or corporate people, maybe. But overall majority, hell, even my mother won. Straight Democrat, and I know plenty black women. I'm sure you do as well. My opinion, I think, of course, with Biden, with this whole war with Israel and Palestine, right? I think that is the main thing, the main stain on his
Legacy.
I don't want to say
honor his
legacy.
record.
Not so much record when you running and his candidacy
Campaign.
Yeah, campaign.
campaign. Okay,
Yeah.
I said campaign. I was about to say candidacy.
Say that over.
Campaign. But I'm saying like with that war is the main stain on his campaign run right now, all right? If that to make any sense. I think that's the main stain on it, right? And also Democrats always have took blacks for granted for years because they know by default they loyal. So we can say some shallow things to them and whether we make good on some of them or even half hell, they still come out in droves and vote for us. So you can't take black votes for granted, And then now you got, in the battleground states where time is of the essence. So, but Trump is actually trying to cater to black voters, Whether he gonna do anything, I doubt it, because politicians lie anyway on either side. But he is putting a message out for black voters. I've heard the campaigns we say Joe Biden hasn't done nothing for you. He isn't gonna do anything for you, but vote for me. I'll do more than Joe Biden do, which we all know Congress would really run the country. They only gonna do but so much, but they can veto bills and get some laws, executive laws passed if they even do any of those things. But I think the Democratic Party has been neglecting black for so long. They just took black for granted. They take them for granted. And now a lot of these millennials and these younger ones is not really feeling Biden. And I heard some say that they will vote for Trump. And then I heard some say they don't know who they're going to vote for, if they will even vote, But if so, I say, man, go independent. Make them work hard for your vote, Make them do what they say they're going to do and then hold them accountable. Because even though whoever gets in office, every president should have, and they should have an open door policy, because we are governed, even on the bill, we are governed by ourselves. So if enough people come together and lobby, they have to do what you need them to do. But you need the numbers. It can't just be one person. You gotta have a group of people, or as they say, certain PACs. They put money up to have their own lobbyists. Or if you can't afford that, if you have enough people to come on the floor and speak up, like, look, we got all these people and we will be here constantly until things get changed in your favor, because we are governed by ourselves. And even though they want to admit it, it is an open door policy. It is open door policy. That's my take. Go ahead.
What do you think?
Being that low, it is a drastic change for black votes. I think it just comes to a place of trust and really understanding your options. Some people don't want to deal with Trump. Some people don't want to deal with Biden at all, and they don't trust where he's coming from at all. And you said it'd been like 6 decades?
Yeah, they're projecting. These are just projections with polls and stuff like that. That for the first time in 6 decades, they won't get the majority of the. It's really not saying that all that's going to go to Trump. It's just saying that Biden is losing that support.
Yes.
So
I'm not shocked. A lot had happened during the 4 years, and they ain't really been a big show out with Biden, and especially Kamala. She just been hiding the whole time. I can't even tell you what that girl's doing right now. And when they first came, it was this whole big thing about if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, which was the first disrespectful thing I ever heard coming from a president. But people fell for it. They kept going for it. And now when they're looking at it, I think a lot of people feel like, the jig is up when it comes to voting. So instead of actually looking at other options, I think they're just more like, you know what, bump it. And also you got to remember with social media got a big time influence on how people think. And also a lot of people think that their vote really don't count. And I ain't gonna front, I was one of them people at one time too. But the people who's under a certain age, I'll say under 50, right?
Yeah.
I think we are looking for something more different. And the trust just went down. Trump is not bringing good vibes either. So instead of looking at the other options, like you're mentioning, the independent party, I think a lot of us to be educated on it, I think that's one that plays our awareness of other people and just trusting the government. I think that's really slowly dying. So that might be a big thing also with the black community. And you asking them to vote and do this and all, but people can read between the lines now, and they want to vote probably, but they just don't trust their options right now. So they just like, you know what, probably just better for me to sit back and chill, because what I seen the last 4 years, it wasn't shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree with you. I think, the biggest thing is just what is Biden doing, for us?
Nothing.
And it
Falling
seems
over.
like there hasn't been it seems like there hasn't been much being done. And so I think that, a lot of people are saying, okay, I'm gonna take my vote and stick it somewhere else. I think Biden's raising a lot of money, but I think it's from people who have it, which are the older voters, the people over 50, which he has that vote on lock. But, also I think with this war, I think that's really, it's going to kill him with a lot of, voters, a lot of the young voters. And so I just think people are fed up with everything that's been going on. And I think people just want the hurting to end. I mean, like, I was going to I know I always bring this up, but like inflation, I was going to the grocery store and I was like, man, I only want to spend $25 because that's all I got.
Mm-hmm.
And like, 4 years ago I could do it. I looked at my bill, it's $40, like, and so that may not be like a big thing for a lot of people.
No, it is a big
But it's
thing.
like, yo, I'm out there trying to make money and like
You
put
know
food on the
why.
table. And I'm trying to actually like live. And it's hard to live, man. It's hard to live in this environment. You see other people, you see the rich getting richer, you see the poor getting poorer. And I think it's really an indictment on the system, not so much on Biden, but the system that we're running right now. So I personally think that it wouldn't have mattered if Trump was in this position. He would be if he had done all that stuff, he would be losing a lot of support
Correct.
too. And so I think it's just, listen, people are fed up with what's going on. Gas, all this stuff is high. All the things, the wars that are going on, all the money we're spending, all of that.
You know why it's so high?
Why?
Because he giving that money to Ukraine.
Yeah.
And we
Speak on
gotta
it.
account for it some kind of way. So they take it from us.
Inflation.
Exactly. And then he just had an executive order to give more money to Ukraine, and they give money to Israel.
Yeah.
They give money to all these other countries, but won't give the American people shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
People over here need and this and that and the third, and the cost of living over here is high.
Yeah.
That's what people are so fed up with,
Yeah.
Did he ever pass the George Floyd Policing Act? No, did you know?
That's a
it?
good
No,
question.
they talked about
They
it.
talked about
and
it,
that's
right?
that's what they've been doing. This
But
administration.
he
real
did
good
pass
question.
executive order not to harm Asians.
I like that you. Yeah,
He
exactly.
did pass
Preach.
that, right? So did he do all of the? Because we always say, I guess. Let me refrain. I said he didn't do nothing. Yeah, he did something. But the thing is, we just don't know what all he has done, right?
Well,
And hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
And maybe what he has done, maybe it doesn't affect us. Maybe it didn't trickle down to us personally. Like I know I still got student loans. I don't know about you guys.
Oh yeah.
So my student loan hasn't. So it hasn't. If that would have happened, at least I can say, okay, yeah, you know what, he did wipe out. He did wipe out some student loans. I still have mine. I don't know. Maybe I might be looking at something. Maybe it might be a way where mine can get wiped out. I still have that. Like you said, gas
Student
prices
loans.
still high. Yeah.
He also did the Inflation Act.
He did- okay,
He
he
also
did
did the
Inflation
CHIP Act.
I know they did
Where
some
they
money
did with the
for
chips.
HBCUs. I think they gave a little bit more than Trump did do something, but I think they gave a little more. But he hasn't done a whole. And honestly, I really think it's two things. It's two things that's really with him giving all this money overseas.
Yeah.
Those two wars. Those are the two things. I mean, like, okay, you already gave them money. Stop giving them money. you
Yeah.
know?
Foreign policy is huge.
Very
And-
huge. And any military or government militaries, that's where most of their budget is going towards.
What do you think about the border? What do you guys think about
It's
all
getting
the people that
crazy
are
out
coming in the
there.
border?
It's
Protecting the
ridiculous.
border?
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to really reflect on when Trump was talking about everything he was about putting the wall up and everything.
Yeah.
And I get it. At that time, everybody was at a more easy kind of vibe. And now you're looking at it, it's like, oh, damn, these little motherfuckers coming in. They taking advantage now, you know. You've seen the stuff from New York. And it's like ever since 2020 up to now, it's just been the inflation, the immigrants, the violence going up, the pressure of life going up. And it's like, man, and now so you're looking at this president like, bruh,
But
I
you
don't
know
know.
what?
Yeah.
It's like, just like he said earlier, if Trump was in there, it would be the same thing, right? So, like I get what you're saying with the wall, Trump couldn't even do that because it's a take an act of Congress. So he can say all he want. And if Trump was in office, even though Biden is executing these acts, he's for it. Even if Trump was like, look, with this war in Ukraine, technically, even though he's our president, he can't, no matter what they say, he can't stop it. He can't make Putin say, no, there's no way. He has no jurisdiction over that. Even if Trump was in office, if Congress wants to send this money over, Trump can't stop that. He cannot stop it. He cannot stop it. So he can say this and say that in the third, But I agree with y'all. They do need some type of, immigrants. I said, if they coming in if they come in the right way and start working, and hey, I'm all for it. You want a better way. Who am I to deny somebody who want a better way of life? I live over here and I want a better way of life. So I won't deny anybody that, I think everyone should have the pursuit of happiness, right?
Yes.
But I think they do try to regulate it some kind of way. However that looks, I mean, it's beyond me. I'm not a politician, even though we politic every day, but I'm not a politician.
But at least take care of your American people.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, get them straight first before everybody else who's coming overseas, because we don't know shit about them.
It should always take care of home first.
We don't know about them.
And Trump is saying that message. Even though I still don't believe him.
I was going to ask you guys, like, what do you guys think that either candidate could do? But let's focus on Biden because he's the one that's losing the support, right? What can Biden do in the next, what is it? How many months we got left? Like
before November?
5 months left? It's coming up, y'all. We got 5 months left before
re-election.
Re-election. I mean, what could they do to get your vote at this point?
For me personally,
focusing on Biden more so.
Biden, student loan forgiveness across the board. Stop spending so much money overseas.
Okay.
Stop. Because I think if you stop that, then we can see our economy stabilize a little bit. And some of that same money, I don't necessarily want to say a stimulus, but some type of stipend for people over here, just, far as cost of living, because cost of living goes up, right? People can't afford their rent. They're trying to put food, gas prices, daycare is expensive. Find some kind of way to trickle that money back into the economy. Some kind of way, do things for minority-owned businesses. That way, then they can take care of their own, for a certain community, of course, it'll go through the states, right? And then then have a checks and balance set in place. Make sure the states are doing what they should do with the money. That the money is allocated for minority-owned business. And I'm not saying that he hasn't done anything. I don't know what he's done. But these are things I would love to see, right?
Okay.
And then if you got more minority-owned business in the communities that bring down poverty, once you bring down poverty, you bring down crime.
Yes.
Then they can hire their own and like that,
So bringing down the crime and doing things for the community.
Yeah, definitely.
Stop spending so much money on these wars. If he could change that around for you, that he could get your vote.
I would say, man, Biden, he's doing, like, I won't say that he isn't doing anything.
Okay.
What is he doing to affect the people directly? And I'm saying maybe some people he has. I'm not saying he hasn't affected anybody, but I think these policies in place would look better for the everyday person.
Yes.
Average Joe like myself.
And I agree. What do you think?
I agree with him.
Okay.
I mean, I remember 2021 when I was sitting down on my job and they kept showing how the numbers that was on the TV showing how much was being sent overseas. And I'm just like, dang, like, we got all this going on over here. Gas prices going up. This is before everybody was starting to talk about grocery and all of that. And I was like, we could use that. Why are we always going over there? We're always supporting them, knowing that we don't want this war to happen, but we have no control of that. Like I said, Putin and them could do whatever they want to do. But we always got our hand in stuff that the American people's looking like, hey, we got our own stuff over here. And you keep sending stuff over there, it don't make sense. It don't make sense at all. Unless there's something I'm missing. Like I said, it got to be more awareness and educated on things, but it don't make sense to us. And you got to listen to your people. Now, to get my vote, I don't even think it's possible at this time. I don't even think it's possible, because if you did that during 4 years, and this is the main thing being shown, this is speaking from a person, I can admit, I wasn't sitting down like going through everything to see what he was doing, but from the surface, it don't look good. So I don't trust you. I don't. So I understand where some people might be like, yo, I can vote, but
Yeah.
So as for me, I'm looking like, yeah, I see you, Biden, but I don't trust you at all.
Yeah. What do you think? Because a lot of us, I feel like, the younger ones, don't really. No, I just I was actually counting you in that, but okay. But yeah, the younger ones don't really think that their vote's gonna count.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you recently had like a switch up. You're now going to vote.
Yes.
What was that change for you? What made you say, okay, yeah, I think I do want to vote this time?
Like I said, well, the switch up for me is when you start talking to people more personally, and the ones who are out there voting, they're just not aware of what's really going on too. And then you're looking at your state and you're looking at everything, and you want things to change, like people have been saying. But I think due to people not having awareness of how that one vote, just with primary election, can help out with just your county or your community first.
The local election.
The local elections for the primary ones.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, and how much we're letting just people locally get away with so much.
Ooh, I agree.
And I was not aware of that. Like you see it in the movies, you talk about, but we don't really understand. Like really, the next door neighbor is stealing from your own people and looking just like you. That infuriates my soul. So I was actually educated a little bit more from one of the candidates I had the pleasure of interviewing, and we were talking afterwards. And I actually had to tell her, like, I was one of them people like who also thought like, man, it don't count, because after seeing what happened, like, with them recounting votes in Georgia and doing all this, and after the whole thing with Trump and January 6th and all, you just thinking like, this is ridiculous, So it's like, I can say whatever, but y'all still gonna do whatever you want to do. But if we just quickly put that down, we don't have a say at all. So even if it's not through voting, it's like somehow we got to try to do something, because the people that we're putting all our trust into, they're making all these different bills and different things without even asking us, the community, the same ones who are being affected by it. And then when you see all the stuff coming up on your articles and timelines, it's BS, and you wonder how all this coming about. Like, you saw the whole thing with abortion. You had all these other stuff. You had the it was a lot. It was a lot we were speaking of. And excuse me for not remembering all of it, but
Roe v. versus Wade. And stuff.
Yeah, it was just a lot. But when you really sit and see how the Senate and everything else is passing down these votes, they're not even talking to the people who is affecting. And we're the main ones talking about it. We're the main ones seeing all just changes happening, but we don't have a say in it because we didn't take the time to actually get to know just our local candidates.
Yeah.
And those are the ones who are closest to the main seat.
Yeah.
And I know this has been talked about before, and I used to be like, man, whatever.
Yeah.
But now when you actually seeing it and you actually see like, dang, this community could have been so much better within 4 years. Like this community over here could understand that when you say affordable housing, they actually can learn how to own a 2-story house. It don't have to be a Section 8. It don't have to be like, we're so used to poverty and so used to our grandparents and them making it. We actually created it as a culture. We actually created it as a lifestyle.
And there's so much education out there now. It's so easy. The access to education is so easy now. You
but
just
everybody's
get
not doing
online
it.
and you can research a lot of this stuff out and really
From your
find
cell
things out for
phone
yourself.
And
Yeah.
go, the piggyback of what she was saying, she's dead ass right. Like I heard that local election is way more important than the presidential election.
It is.
That affects you from day to day.
But
And
that's
she's-
also the one that nobody knows
doesn't
about.
get- it doesn't get
Everybody
the
can say
lackluster.
Trump, everybody can
Yeah,
say Biden,
definitely.
does
but
not get the
nobody
lackluster.
knows.
Nobody knows.
And to before you continue to give one more example of that, like you said, when I was talking to my candidate,
Hold on.
She-
Just before you go into that, just before you. So, like what you said, local elections is very important. So, we are all, in case y'all didn't know, we are all filmmakers here sitting at this table, right? So, Green Tea has recently did some video for a local election. I don't know what county or what district it was.
Right.
Could you please expound on that of what you observed and what you did? Because I saw some of the footage and me, it looked great. What she actually followed a candidate. What is running for city council or something like that? Or I don't know what it was. But
State Senate, yeah.
Okay, state senate. I'm sorry. So could you please expound on that with the audience, how that was and what you what all encompassed and what what you took away from that?
Yeah,
Go
well,
ahead.
I already said a good bit, but the first bit, of people that we actually did interview, like I said the first time, their awareness and understanding of who they were voting for, it was very, very low, and that's a scary thing. Some of them just like, oh, I'm just coming out just to vote, because that's my civil rights to do, and due to the lack of knowledge of these people and the numbers of people coming out, that's what controls your next 4 years. And that's a scary thing. And we're talking about people who's older than 50, and then the ones who are younger somewhat has a understanding of who they voting for. And they don't even understand that all the candidates who are even running. And I said the most scariest thing for me is when I was sitting with the candidate I actually had to sit with her while she watched her results.
What's her name?
Miss Sumter.
And Miss Sumter, what was she running for?
State Senate.
State Senate for State Senate for South Carolina, correct? For
Hold on. I don't want to mistake in this. I wasn't trying to get too deep and put her out there yet. Well, just to keep it bland for right now, we can talk about that in another one. But she was explaining to me about like in their county, the numbers of people in their residence, it totals up to almost 70,000 people. Okay, that's a big number. And sitting down watching her stuff on news, she got only about like 1,000 votes, and the guy she was running up against only got maybe a little over 5,000. So let's tally that up.
So some people didn't even show up to vote.
Yeah, but let's tally that up. How much is that at 5,000 and 1,000 together? That's about
6,000
compared to 70,000.
Right.
To make a change for a community that don't even have everything up to par the way it needs to.
64,000 people didn't
Pretty
even
much.
show up.
That's scary.
So he kind of the guy who was already in office, which I see locally with some people, they would win because people already know them.
Yes.
They just go in, and even if they don't do much, because you kind of get complacent in these positions.
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
that's what happens.
And you kind of just catch in a.
They call it career politicians.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or as they said in the army, when I was in the army, when you don't do nothing, they call you a damn oxygen thief. That's you just taking oxygen because you're not really doing nothing for the people, and they're old. They done been here for so long.
That's what I admire about Ocasio-Cortez, who is the congresswoman, I believe, for New York. And I remember when she was running, because she was running against, somebody, it was another Democrat, and he had been there for years. And she was like the underdog. Yeah. And she went in and beat him. I mean, no matter how you think about what do you think about her, I mean, that was a big feat to do that. To be able to do that is crazy. So I've always admired people who could go up against the big dog.
I think that's good. You need fresh blood.
Yeah.
In politics. When you become a Korean, you done been there for like 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
You need to let a new fresh pair of eyes. Let's younger, because time changes. We're in a technology age.
Yes.
Things are not the same when you
it's not.
when you have like a 70 or late 60s year old, writing laws for younger people, and times have changed. Times have changed. So I think you need younger blood in there.
That actually was a big example that night, and just to make, I apologize if I came off like wasn't sure. I want to make sure I'm saying everything correctly, because like I said, it's been a while since I actually was paying attention on candidates and all that, even for primary. Because I slack on primary for the local one. So she was running for State Senate District 32. Okay. And running against Ronnie Sabb, who been doing it for like a good few years, but they actually, after she was bringing more awareness to the community in less than 90 days. So that's pretty good. She came in almost at the last minute, like, hey, I'm going to run against him. I think it woke some people up to notice that, hey, we had the Senate the whole time, and he never wrote anything for us, never did anything for us, and he still gets this amount of money. He's been doing this for a while. So everybody pretty much was teasing him, saying that he's a Senate that don't do nothing.
Yeah, he just collecting the check.
Yes, pretty much. And even when he had his winning speech, he actually was speaking on the fact of bringing that up, like, yeah, I know y'all talk about me being like the Senate that don't do nothing. That means he's paying attention now. And then two, he also is like, how he said, he was bringing up stuff all the way from like 2017, and that shows you how out of date he was, because some of the young people were listening. They were just like, "What is he talking about?" And he could have got away with this for that long,
for a while.
And from other people, they said the only thing he has to do is just go to the people he's used to, like the churches and all that, the elders who already know him, and they just know he's somebody they know, but they don't know what exactly he's doing. So that's already votes already in his pocket. Then money he has more of compared to any candidate that's coming against him, because you got, I hate to say it, just like a little boy club that already know they got their hands in each other's back pocket.
So he looks out for them.
Pretty much, and they looking out for him too, to keep him in that seat, And then three, for the community that he's doing pretty much nothing for, that people are noticing, like they don't have a better community center, they don't have things they can bring a better housing for them. You got a liquor store on the corner, they got 3 liquor stores, why you can't bring better stores for them? So they started noticing that to keep them in vote, we're going to vote for him because he's going to have a cookout for us later. Or he's just going to give us some 40s and have a barbecue and all. That shows he's even playing the race card with you too, even though he is every kinfolk ain't skinfolk. Every skinfolk ain't kinfolk, excuse that. But he's literally playing that race card with his own people. And that right there is like a slap in the face. Just like when I said Biden say, vote for me. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. It's all BS. So the trust issue is getting really low, and me just sitting back and really hearing this straight from other people's mouth and seeing what's going on, I'm like, dang. Well, one, South Carolina, we need to do better, way better. The awareness is crazy. So just to speak on that, thank you. But that really did prick me in the heart when I sat with her, and I was like, dang, I know I'm one of them people who don't want to vote. At one point, I was just like, whatever. Because it's BS all the way, but now I'm looking at it now like, okay, we got to tighten up.
You brought up a very good point too, because some politicians, like you said, and it's a shame with the church, the black church. Let me stand correct. They so complacent with a politician, right? They good with that pastor, so the pastor get this and get that, and it would, some pastors would say, "Oh, we don't discuss politics here." But then sometimes they will sway their congregation to vote a certain way.
They do.
That's why they like, I heard a video when our former mayor, Summy, was running. Well, he's not my mayor because I don't live in the city of North Charleston. I live in Charleston County, so we don't have a mayor. But we got Burgess is the mayor now, brother, first black preacher. So, but anyway, but when Summy was running, I heard a video they was saying like, hey, you need to get these people. The black people, don't even worry about them. They automatically Democrat. You just go to the churches. You might, get them some hot dogs or do this and that. And it's a shame that black folk come so complacent with certain things,
Yeah.
If you want to prove you're not a monolith, then prove that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Don't just follow. Don't follow along just to get along. see what these people are going to do for you, you know?
We need to make the price of our vote high, because right now the price of it is low. That I feel like people think, oh yeah, we got it, especially the Democratic Party. They think that they got it on lock, and we're just giving it away. We're not even making them pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely got to be a change. I think when it comes to those numbers, you know, the black vote and stuff like that, it excites me that maybe we could possibly do something that could actually change something. Because I feel like not much has gotten done since the Civil Rights Act in the 60s. Okay? Not much has been done since then, y'all. I mean, there's no like major legislation that we can point to and be like, they did that. Even the George Floyd thing, they just talked about it.
Complacent.
This is all they do. Yeah. Talk. And then every 4 years, talk.
You know,
so,
what's
but
sad,
we got to go. But
what's sad,
go ahead.
real quick.
Yeah.
What's sad is some of us, once we reach a certain level or get some money, we think it's just all good. Now, granted, yeah, you might be living high off the hog. You might be living good, but overall, we are all not good, you know? So once they reach a certain level of money, and sometimes you may cape to the other side or this side or that side, and then you just, not saying all, but some just sort of forget about the struggle for everybody. Well, shit, I made it. You made it, you know? And one of the problem is, and we can't even say that we don't have money because our buying power, our spending power is crazy, right?
It is.
But if we came together and pool money and pool resources, we could have our own PACs. We can have our own lobbyists. We really can make some things, get some things done. You know, you only can do that when you stand together. When the house is divided, it won't stand. It'll fall. So
absolutely,
yeah, that's my 2 cents.
I think he's more on when we think as a people, we think more short term than long term. And you can lose a lot of focus and attention span real quick, especially in the black community, because we think we already there. We think we already had our revolution. Only a minimum of us is like, yo, we still got to keep pushing. So, but it's not there. And I'm one of the people who, after sitting in a certain county, I'm just like, just saying it.
Something's got to change,
yes.
right? Something's got to change.
Yeah, we might have been different tribes in Africa or wherever we from, but here in America, we all got to be one tribe.
Absolutely.
One tribe, and we got to stand tall.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Once again, I'm Brooks.
And I'm Hendricks.
This your girl, Green Tea.
Thanks for coming on.
Us. Yeah, we appreciate
Thank you.
We out.
And this has been the Black Summit. Peace, suckers.